For anyone who has ever doubted Ryan Poles, yeah, don't think that anymore because Ryan Poles is cooking, ladies and gentlemen. Bears land six-time Pro Bowler wide receiver Keenan Allen from the LA Chargers for only a fourth-round pick. A guy with over 10,000 receiving yards in the last 10 seasons, along with 94 receiving touchdowns, 6 Pro Bowls for only a fourth-rounder? You have to be kidding me. So what does that mean for the direction of this offseason? Well, the Bears now only have 4 picks in the NFL draft, and Ryan Poles said he wants to build this thing through the draft. And even though you have the number 1, the 9, the 75, and 122 from the Eagles, one of those has to get traded back and get more picks. And in my opinion, you have to trade the number 1, meaning Justin Fields staying has skyrocketed. I'm sorry, guys, to the people who are like, we need Caleb Williams. But the number 1 can get us 3 picks this year alone and even more picks next year to continue to build this team for longevity. Again, patience is key. Everyone was like, we need a center, we need a wide receiver, we need this, we need that 2 days ago, and we have all that now. Think long-term. Don't think in the moment. Think long-term. You gave Fields a legit wide receiver in DJ Moore this past year, who had over 1,300 receiving yards. You get him 2 of those guys with the ability to do that now and complement each other with an improved offensive line and an improved play caller that will work the Fields' strengths. If I am Ryan Poles, I see all that. I see the potential, and I see what is needed still for this team, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I saw that Justin Fields went 4-2 in his last 6 games. I saw that he could have been 5-1 if it wasn't a defensive collapse in Cleveland. That's my guy still. I am building around him. Let's get some capital and make this thing a dynasty for the next decade. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Rodine. As always, thank you for tuning in. I am so happy about this trade because quickly about Keenan Allen, 6-time Pro Bowler, over 10,000 receiving yards, 94 receiving touchdowns, and 11.2 yard per catch average. And we got him for only a 4th rounder this year. His cap hit is $23.1 million. Expect some restructuring, whether it be Sweat's contract, probably not Jalen Johnson's contract, Keenan Allen's contract, a couple of the bigger contracts on this team right now. Expect there to be some there because we need to open up cap space. And also, we only have him for 1 year. He only has 1 year left on his contract from the Chargers, unless we re-sign him, obviously, which is why we need to trade back and get more trade capital if we don't, because we need to get a young stud that can learn from him along with DJ Moore for at least the next year. But at 32 years old, it is possible that we do bring him back. I think it won't be for nearly as much unless he has an unbelievable season. But you get a great vet to help mentor all these younger guys. And if you get a young stud wide receiver in that 1st round, I mean, you could take one at 9 too. But overall, I see the potential. Our offense before the NFL draft is DeAndre Swift, Khalil Herbert, Roschon Johnson, Kmet, Gerald Everett, DJ Moore, and Keenan Allen. Like, when is the last time the Bears had an offense this good? In this draft, Fields is sticking around. You only have 4 picks at the moment. You can get anything you need in a bag of chips for years down the road, trading back that number 1 pick. And this team will be just cooking for so long. And you don't sign all these 1-2 year deals over the last couple of days with no draft capital because Poles is just overall just not doing good for himself. So yes, you have to trade back that number 1 pick. It's worth more. You get more, and you get a ton of draft capital. Now, before I begin all the trade backs, if you're amped about this Keenan Allen trade and also on the trade of trading back either the 1 or the 9, in this one, I'm doing just the 1, hit that like button on this video to show your support. Comment what your reaction was to the Keenan Allen trade, or just a bear down if you're excited about this team already. So the Bears have 4 picks at the moment. They have addressed everything on offense from a weapons standpoint. They have improved the offensive line, but still have room for improvement for the future, and can trade back that number 1 pick for a haul. And I'm going to trade back that number 1 pick for a haul because the Commanders traded Sam Howell, their starter last year. Cliff Kingsbury is our offensive coordinator who has worked with Caleb Williams at USC. Magic Johnson wants a fresh start for his newly owned team, and I'm going to send that number 1 pick to the Commanders, and the Commanders are going to send me the number 2, the number 40, which is actually owned by the Chicago Bears, number 78, a 25 second, and a 25 fourth. Commanders get Caleb Williams and all the above, and Bears get a 2nd and 3rd this year, along with keeping the number 2 and more in 25. After that, the Bears now have the number 2, 9, 40, 75, 78, 122, in 24 and 2 more picks in 25. My second trade back that I'm going to be doing is with the Patriots because they just traded Mac Jones. They brought in Jacoby Brissett, who is not a long-term starter for them. Patriots have a handful of teams that still want to move up for even the number 2 pick to get a guy like Drake May. And I'm going to send that number 2 that I got from Washington to the Patriots. And I'm going to get back the number 3, 34, a 25 first, and a 25 third. Patriots get their guy in Drake May or whoever they want, to be honest with you. Bears get a second, a first next year, and a third next year as well. So now after that, the Bears have the number 3, 9, 34, 40, 75, 78, and 122. Plus now a total of 4 picks more in 25. Now, before I get into my final trade back of the day, please make sure you get your ticket to our 2024 NFL Draft Party presented by Freshie Organic Tequila Seltzer. Bears fans, former players, and current players potentially, and more will come together at Rizzo's Bar and Inn in Wrigleyville at 6 p.m. Central Time on April 25th. All ticket proceeds go to College Bound Opportunities, a nonprofit organization that goes for first-generation college students to provide them aid to achieve their goals of graduating from a university. You can donate $1 or $500. All proceeds, no matter the size, are greatly appreciated. We hope to see you there. Now, my final trade back, you're probably going, wait, what are we doing? We want Marvin Harrison Jr. Well, let's get a little risky because the Arizona Cardinals have their guy in Kyler Murray, right? They're not getting a quarterback. Well, they don't have a left tackle anymore. They released him yesterday for saving $22 million. Enter Notre Dame left tackle Joe Alt, which a lot of teams are going to want an elite left tackle and would be willing to trade up with the Chicago Bears for big hauls for him as well. Bears would send the number 3 to Arizona, and you're getting the number 4 back, the number 35, and a 25 second. So now that leaves me with even more picks. The Bears now have 4, 34, 35, 40, 75, 78, and 122 and 24, and 5 total more picks in 25. So the Bears get 4 more picks this year, 3 in the second, 1 in the third, and then you get, along with it, 5 more picks in 25, all within the first couple of rounds. Ryan Poles is building longevity for the future. Overall, I really think that the Bears need to trade that number 1, guys. I'm super excited about it, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Make sure you put it in the comment section below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, please, to stay up to date on all Chicago Bears news. But with that, thank you as always for tuning in this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Brody, and as always, bear down, baby.